What's up, guys? It is Tuesday, so we're going to do a tip video. I am a super slow learner, so I'm going to sit out here and swat bugs again, which is just what we do here in Connecticut this time of year and forever now until like January. So two things. Make sure these boys are playing nice. I have them in a holding container together. I have two males for this video. What I want to discuss is focus when it comes to picking projects. It's really easy to get off the rails when you do decide to start breeding snakes. Even within a keeping collection, if you don't plan on breeding, it's easy to get off the rails. We all have something in mind that's our goal or that we want to have. And too often we settle for something else because it comes along or we think it's a good deal or whatever the case may be. So having a focus and a plan in advance will really help. I'm going to mix using hands like I do and then also swat bugs because that's what I have to do. So as I said, two things. One, obviously we're going to cover that subject. Two, what I'm going to start doing now, I have all these stickers that I ordered, which I've shown you guys before. You know, these things here. I'm going to start doing some giveaways with them on the channel. So what I'm going to do, I'll do the first one now. I'm going to do something where I'm going to ask you a question and whoever can give me the correct answer first will win in this case. Sometimes it might be something where I'll ask a question and everybody who answers correctly in a certain amount of time will get entered or something. We'll do different things. But what you'll have to do to get the information is go back into previous videos that I've done and find the information that I'm looking for. So the question for the winner to win these ones here is going to be which snake of mine had a hatch date of June 25th. So you'll have to go back and watch some of the Meet the Collection videos or videos that I've posted of other stuff and see which snake hatched on June 25th. And I'll send two stickers to whoever can answer that one first for me. Now, to get into what we're going to discuss here, I've got two snakes that are actually genetically the same, but they're very different in appearance. So they're both sideswipe Borneo short-tailed pythons. Now, one of the males may also be ultra. It's really tough to tell when you get sideswipe involved. And hopefully next year I'll be able to start pairing him up and we'll have a better idea of what's going on, assuming he's ready and he decides he wants to breed. He'll definitely be of age. It'll just be a question of if he's ready to go. So the two that I have Charlie Murphy, who's a very dark sideswipe Borneo shorttail. And then I have this other guy who I haven't picked a name for yet, who's probably one of my lightest ones. So they're both sideswipe Borneo shorttails. They both have genetic stripe going on in their line. Both of them carry stuff to make ultra, and yet they don't look very similar. So this here is Charlie Murphy, and you can see he's very dark. And then this is the other male, and he's very light. So they're both the same gene. They're both sideswipe. They both carry the stuff to make ultra, and they both carry genetic stripe in their line as well. They're gonna hate being held like this. Hold them together, but you can see, even though the combination of genes is the same, and they actually have the same father too, they're very different snakes. The difference in mother is Charlie Murphy, there, the dark guy, came out of Ethel, who's a very dark, wild type looking Borneo. And then this other guy over here came out of Lilith, whose eggs are cooking in the incubator right now. Hi. Can you get out of my face? No? Guess not. The only difference in this clutch with Lilith is that this guy's half brother is the father this time, instead of previously their father was the father. So we'll see what happens this clutch around. We've got about 5 or 6 weeks before we'll start to see what those look like. So anyways, when picking a direction, you can see that these, even though they're the same gene, there's really two projects to be had here. There's two directions to go. There's actually more than two directions you can go. But if you have limited space and limited resources, you really need to pick and choose what projects you take on. I'm fortunate that I have enough space to do a couple of different projects. Just want to make sure these guys play nice. Obviously, usually don't have my short tails together like this, especially two males, but this species, the males aren't overly, they don't try to hurt each other or anything. You can see they're both trying to go opposite directions right now. So you have to really narrow your focus down when you have limited resources, limited space, limited time, whatever it is that keeps you from having, 500 snakes, 1,000 snakes, whatever it is. So you want to focus your direction. So for me, obviously those are both males, but if they're male or female, I wouldn't put these two together because they represent two different directions that I'm trying to go within these genetics. So I want to get these two as far apart as I can. That's my goal. How light can I go? How dark can I go? I'm going to end up getting pooped on. I can feel it shifting. So my goal with this guy, with Charlie Murphy here, the darker guy, I have a really dark female sideswipe that I picked up. I picked it up from somebody privately, but it was bred by Matt Jablonski, and it's a very, very dark, similar to him. And then this guy here, I think I'm probably going to end up putting to Callisto and seeing if I can get, some really light sideswipe stuff out of them. Now, sometimes you put two dark animals together and two light animals together, and you don't always get what you expect. Borneos really kind of work the way that they decide to work on a given day. Sometimes there's really not a lot of rhyme or reason, so I'm going to try it and see what happens. But there's a chance that the results are not going to be what I'm going for. I'm sure I'll be happy with whatever I get, but I do have to be prepared that, I might get something totally out of left field. But that's part of, putting yourself in a position to kind of make what you want, and then, doing the work and putting in the time and seeing what happens and mixing up different pairings. And it's nice that they're both males, so I could do them to, two females at a season and get a little bit more results if that's what I need to do in order to figure out where these projects are going. But I do have an idea in my head of what I'd like to do with them. I do have an idea on females I'd like for each of these guys. So that's part of that focus and planning process that you want to have. Now, I know a lot of people that'll watch this probably are more into the ball python thing, and people get too hung up on just gene combos as opposed to the quality of the genes involved. If you're just starting out in breeding and you really want to get known for something, pick something you really like and hammer on it. Really perfect that one thing. It's okay if you want to mix it into here and there a little bit, but really try to perfect that one gene or two gene combo and make it as nice as you can make it, consistently especially, and then you start mixing in other stuff. Then you have a foundation that you're known for. You look at something like as simple as pastel. Well, there's certain lines of pastel that are really, really nice, that hold their color better, that look better as adults, because people took the time and they went after that one gene and they picked the best examples they could find until they got their desired results. So that's a good way to make a name for yourself, so that when people talk about pieds or pastels or Mojaves, whatever it is, or in this case sideswipe, or T-positive albino, T-negative albino, dark Sumatrans, chrome-head Sumatrans, whatever it is you're going after, try to make the best that you can, so that when people are talking about those genetics, you're who comes to mind because they've seen these magnificent examples of what they're talking about. So they'll go, hey, so-and-so's pieds are the nicest pieds, or, so-and-so's T-positives are so nice. That's what you want. That's what you should aspire to, is to have the best of the best. You shouldn't just be pairing to pair just to make more. That's not really the right approach here. You want to have a direction. You want to be shooting for something, and, see what happens along the way. Experiment a little, outcross a little bit. Maybe once in a while you just play a hunch. The pair that created Charlie Murphy here was a hunch. That female doesn't look like anything that normally I would breed, but something just said she's going to bring out the best in this pairing, and every single baby that came out of her was incredible. And she literally looks like a bruised turd. She's not an attractive female, but something in there that I saw, that I just had a hunch that, she was going to throw better babies than what she was, and I was right. Now, I could have been wrong. and I could have made a clutch of ugly, ugly babies, which is a risk you take once in a while, but it shouldn't be something that's not a calculated risk. You know, I saw something in her that I thought was going to pair well with this male, and it did. So even though I got lucky, there was a little bit of that involved. So don't just be pairing on, oh, they're ugly, maybe I'll get lucky. Don't do it like that. You know, play your hunches once in a while, but do make sure that, you know, there's a little bit in there where, you know, you've got a chance for success and you're not just shooting in the dark. I guess he's going to put himself away. Charlie's going back into the bin here, so we'll let him go. So say goodbye to Mr. Charlie Murphy. Named him that because he's the darkest Borneo I've ever produced, and Charlie Murphy was known as Darkness. So that's where he got his name from. I don't know what to name this guy, so if you guys have ideas for him, I'd love to hear it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super picky with names. I know Charlie Murphy doesn't seem like I am, but I am picky with names, so chances are I'm not gonna take your suggestion, but every once in a while, you know, somebody will say something that sticks. All my other Borneos, I kind of went with like a celestial theme because they're brights, you know, bright and steiny, so I went that way with them, but I got bored with those names. I kind of used all the ones that I thought were cool. But if you have something along those lines that goes with what I have, you know, Orion and Astra and Callisto, I had a Bellatrix, I had, you know, I can't even think right now. And then I have other Borneo, I have Dio, you know, he was just my first Borneo, so he got a cool name because I like Dio. But definitely this one needs a really badass name, which is why I've had him for years and I haven't named him yet. So if you have something that's super cool, and I'll tell you what, as a bonus, if somebody gives me a good name that I like and I use it, I'll send you some stickers as well. So, and I'll do that for any snake that I ask you for input on for a name, at least as long as they last. Grab them before they all blow away. I think I lost one already. Uh-oh. All right, well, any questions on this, let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share any videos that you like. Any ideas that you have, please share them. I'm willing to take your ideas and turn them into videos if it's something that I can sit here and yak about. We'll see you guys on Thursday with a Meet the Collection. Until then, see you later. Don't forget, figure out which snake, June 25th. You can win some stickers, or give me a name for him and then maybe you'll win some stickers too.